Get ready for a brand new Captain Kirk! No, not Chris Pine. Strange New Worlds has a strange new Captain Kirk. Well, I guess we'll see, or, well, a handful of us will. Anyway, here we are, Cosmic Book News, who's got the story from someone else. Anyway, so Star Trek Strange New Worlds cast Paul Wesley as Captain Kirk, and there he is. A really skinny Captain Kirk. I mean, the shirt doesn't even fit. But you know, maybe you can get some cheeseburgers along the way. This is a younger version of him. It's in the years, I assume, of course, before he takes command of the Enterprise from Captain Pike. Or maybe that's what they're going to do. You know, this, I think, will be for the second season, since they've already said that they're going to do that, but then they say a lot of things. But there he is in suit and everything, so maybe he'll show up in the first one as well. And then maybe Anson Mount is like, I want out. So hand it off to Captain Kirk. Anyway, here we are. Following the release of the trailer, it's announced that Star Trek Strange New Worlds has cast Paul Wesley in the role of the iconic Captain Kirk for, season 2. All right, well, should have read ahead. Again, he might show up, though. I mean, they've already got him in the costume and everything. So I'm thinking maybe he'll get introduced, but he just won't have much to do in the first season. So the actor, who is known for the Vampire Diaries, confirmed the news. Was that a CW show? I think it was. Yeah. I don't know. I never saw it. But I think I did see some of the promos, so I get, because I thought, hey, he kind of looks familiar. But was he that skinny then too? Well, whatever. You know, there's been a lockdown and stuff, so maybe he can, again, get a cheeseburger and hit the gym or something. Anyway, the actor, known for Vampire Diaries, posted his response on Instagram. So there it is. Well, that's too small for my old eyes. So we'll read it here that Matt McCoy did. I am deeply humbled and still a little startled to have been given the honor of playing the inimitable Captain James D. Kirk, posted Paul Wesley. Ever since I was a kid, I've been awed by the imaginative world Gene Roddenberry created. Recently, I boarded a flight to L.A. to discover that the man in the empty seat beside me was the one and only William Shatner, having himself just returned from space. I could barely put 2 words together, but ultimately I managed to say hello, and we chatted. I'm not one who usually believes in fate, but this was more than a coincidence. Then, of course, I had to get a picture. So thanks, Mr. Shatner, for the good company, and for seating us together. My thanks to the great bird in the sky. Can't wait for all of you to see our Captain Kirk on your screens. So season 2 is currently in production in Toronto. Paul is an accomplished actor, an astonishing presence, and a welcome key addition to the show, said executive producer Alex Klutzman and show road killers, Kiva Goldsman, and Henry Alonzo Myers. In a statement, like all of us, he is a lifelong Star Trek fan. Well, maybe he is, but, and if he is, it's really sad, because the pain he's going to experience having to watch what they do with Star Trek on this show while he's having to be a participant in it. But, you know, working actor, and he's got to work, and this was the job, and he got it. So anyway, they're excited by his interpretation of this iconic world. Star Trek Strange New Worlds is a spinoff from STD and follows Anson Mount as Captain Pike, Ethan Peck as Science Officer Spock, and Rebecca Bone Romaine as Number 1. In the years before, Captain Kirk boarded the USS Enterprise as they explore new worlds around the galaxy. The villain is said to be Lon Noonan Singh. Oh, that's right, I forgot about this. Played by Christina Chong, who is linked to the infamous Khan Noonan Singh, who may also appear in season 2. Oh, good Lord. You don't need a recurring villain. It was a one-time show, and I know Wrath of Khan was the best of the Star Trek films. It's done. The story's over. I know they wanted to do like some kind of prequel story with Khan, tell his whole backstory, and that's one thing. Maybe they can do that, but well, not Secret Hideout. They couldn't do it. But there's no Darth Vader in Star Trek. You understand? There's no recurring villain. There's adversaries like Klingons and Romulans and that sort of thing. But no Khan. Yeah, Harry Mudd could be a recurring villain, but they already screwed him up in STV. So, Chris Pine will also be back in the role of Captain Kirk for Star Trek for Willie. This is definitely happening, but I don't know about that. I mean, the latest I heard from him was, well, I need to see the script first before I agree to anything. It's supposed to go into production in the fall of this year. They didn't even talk to him. Yeah. So, here's your new Captain Kirk. So there we are. I've heard about this, that they were going to introduce a new Kirk, and sure, why not? They've already introduced Pike and Spock, and of course number one and all that, which actually those years could have been material for a prequel series, but it's so messed up now. It's just a matter of how bad can it be, you know? But of course, the rumors were he and Spock are going to be homosexual lovers. Well, of course. How could you not, you know? So, I don't know if that's what he did in his vampire show, but, yeah. I mean, if the series was just going to end and they introduced a Kirk at the end and he succeeds Captain Pike as he releases command of the Enterprise, and well, we know it happened. It was never depicted or anything. But maybe that's what they could have done. But to have him be a recurring character or a cast member of the show, be involved, that wasn't the case. Of course, the only way this works is this is an alternate universe. This is not the original series. It had nothing to do with the other shows, not even, the Next Generation and Voyager and Deep Space Nine and all that. No, that's all a separate thing that was connected. But this can't possibly be, just look at the outfit. It's not, stuff like that. Because Kirk did not have that much of a relationship with Pike. He did in the Bad Robot movies and all that, but again, the alternate universe, so things were different, and Pike became kind of like a second father figure to him. But in the original series, Spock's the one who knew Pike very well, and was a friend of his and all that. Whereas Kirk even mentions in the Menagerie, that he briefly knew him. I mean, and of course he had to meet him to succeed him on the Enterprise. But there wasn't enough there to say that he actually served under him on the Enterprise or anything like that. Maybe, I suppose you could kind of finagle that, but it would have to be rather brief since he wasn't all that well acquainted with him. Whereas he said, but Spock served with him, and all this. And so, of course he did for a long time, actually. And so Spock and Pike, there's connections there, but not so much for Kirk. But as they go forward, if he's going to be some Lieutenant Kirk on the Enterprise and that sort of thing, well, you have to admit this is not an actual prequel to original Star Trek. That's a whole other universe, and everything's a multiverse now. Everything's a multiverse. Sometimes you wish you could escape to another universe, certainly these days. So there's hope for that, huh? Anyway, there we are. There's your brand new Captain Kirk.